Behind every legend lies a reason. This is Myth and Motive.
An overview of the United States. Is it truly the paradise many believe it to be? Hello everyone. For many Vietnamese, the United States has always been seen as a paradise. A place everyone dreams of visiting or even settling down permanently. It's undeniable that the US is the world. Therefore, recently Vietnam has been promoting diverse cooperative relations, becoming a comprehensive strategic partner with this nation. However, is the United States truly the dream country as people imagine? Or behind that glamorous and magnificent facade are things hard to imagine? As follow today. One, the world's strongest military. The Defense Analysis Organization Global Firepower ranks 145 countries based on military strength in 2023. The US currently holds the top position, followed by Russia and China. The ranking considers factors including the scale of military equipment and the number of military personnel of each country, along with financial, geographical, and available resource situations. Based on these factors, Global Firepower calculates the power index, where a score closer to 0 indicates greater military strength. The US leads due to outstanding material and financial numbers, with a power index of 0.0712. The US leads the world in technology, in crucial fields like healthcare, aerospace, and telecommunications, while maintaining advantages in some major industrial markets. This country also has the world's largest defense budget, reaching $761.7 billion. According to Business Insider, the US possesses the world's largest navy with a vast and modern fleet. The overall strength of the US Navy is greater than the combined strength of the next 8 strongest, and US ships are generally more technologically advanced, with 10 nuclear-powered aircraft carriers. In terms of air power, the US currently leads the world. This force has about 14,000 aircraft and helicopters distributed across 5 branches. This number of aircraft is more than a combined total of the next 7 countries. 5th-generation F-22 fighter jets conduct continuous air patrols along US land borders to prevent any incursions by enemy aircraft. The Army's Patriot missile systems will intercept enemy aircraft or missiles. And Stinger, Avenger missile complexes will destroy any low-altitude aircraft to protect land borders. The US has equipped about 9,000 tanks for the Army and Marine Corps, which will coordinate with thousands of Stryker anti-tank guided missile vehicles. Apache and Cobra helicopters along with Javelin anti-tank missile teams will destroy enemy armor. US soldiers are equipped with aiming devices allowing them to hit targets in smoky, dusty. Their armor and protective equipment are the most modern and continuously improved. Previously, the US had the world's second largest nuclear arsenal, with a GDP of $27 trillion, accounting for a quarter of global GDP. The US completely surpasses other countries. This is based on strong innovation, exports of many natural resources and cultural products. Since 1871, the US has maintained its position as the world's largest economy. The US is often referred to as a financial superpower. The US also has the world's strongest technological economy with diverse sectors like petroleum, steel, automobiles, aerospace, chemicals, electronics, food processing, and consumer goods. Major US corporations also play an important role on a global scale. With over 1/5 of the companies in the Fortune Global 500, the US GDP increased by 1.7% in 2020. The latest report from the US Federal Reserve, Fed, shows that as of the end of Q4 2023, the assets of the top 1% richest in the US reached $44.6 trillion. The reason is the growth of the stock market at the end of last year pushed their investment portfolio values higher. The top 1% is defined as those with assets over $11 million. This group owns over 30% of the total household assets in the US. Las Vegas, USA is the world's most famous gambling paradise with its casino system at massive scale. A city rising in the heart of the desert. The gambling business is the main livelihood of the most populous city in Nevada.
A century after its founding, Las Vegas had aimed to become the world's largest gambling hub, and continues to maintain that position. As soon as you land at the airport, you can see slot machines and poker machines.
When talking about casinos, one cannot overlook famous gambling hubs like the MGM Grand Casino,
Bellagio, the Venetian Resort Hotel Casino, etc. The hallmark of Las Vegas is its system of casinos, hotels, and grand entertainment centers.
To avoid the impact of harsh weather conditions, entertainment activities in Las Vegas often take place at night. The city's casino system allows tourists from all social classes to participate in gambling. Las Vegas was the world's largest gambling paradise for most of the 20th century and the early 21st century.
Founded in 1905 as a small railroad station, Las Vegas officially became a city in 1911. In 1946, a famous gangster named Bugsy Siegel built the first casino in Las Vegas. For various reasons, he was killed in 1947, which made both him and Las Vegas even more famous. In the early 1950s, tourists came to Las Vegas not only to gamble but also to watch atomic bomb tests conducted in the desert outside the city.
At that time, people didn't know it was dangerous. They even thought it was very interesting to watch.
With development in the following period, Las Vegas became the most populous American city founded in the 20th century.
The city has been chosen as the setting for many movies, TV shows, and television programs. This city also has the highest number of churches per capita among major cities in the United States.
Las Vegas is a world-famous city for gambling.
According to statistics, the first gambling licenses were issued in 1931, and the number of licensed gambling establishments in Las Vegas is 1,701, an astonishing figure.
But you'll be even more surprised that the number of slot machines in the city is 197,144, while the population of Las Vegas is 500,000. Annually, over 36.7 million tourists visit Las Vegas, mainly from Southern California. Only one state has legalized prostitution. The U.S. is considered open about sexual issues, but 49 out of 50 states consider prostitution illegal and impose heavy prison sentences or fines on those involved, which can be up to 15 years in prison or $150,000.
Only one state in the U.S. has legalized prostitution, which is Nevada, where prostitution is considered a necessary service.
There are currently about 21 legal brothels operating in this state, although not every place in Nevada allows prostitution.
The state also has strict and very specific regulations regarding this controversial profession. According to CNN, there are 3 types of brothels in Nevada: small establishments in remote areas along highways, small establishments in isolated towns, and large establishments located outside major cities like Las Vegas, Reno, Lake Tahoe, or Carson. These brothels and their employees must register with the county police. Prostitutes must be over 21 years old to work. In Story and Leon counties, the minimum age is 18. Those who want to open a brothel must provide financial information and undergo background checks before being licensed. Additionally, they must pay an operating license fee, ranging from $100,000 per year, approximately 2.3 million Vietnamese dollars, in Story County to $200,000 per year, approximately 4.5 billion Vietnamese. Prostitutes must also undergo monthly blood tests for HIV and syphilis. They are also required to ask clients to use condoms.
Although prostitution has been legalized, illegal prostitution still occurs rampantly in Nevada.
In cities like Las Vegas and Reno, where prostitution is prohibited, this activity is still recorded in hotels and casinos, where prostitutes often wait at bars and try to approach potential clients. Legal prostitution in Nevada earns about $75 million, approximately 1.7 trillion Vietnam, while illegal prostitution in the Las Vegas area earns about $5 billion, approximately 113 trillion Vietnamese dollars. And in 2009, Las Vegas was identified by the FBI as one of the top 14 cities in the U.S. with a high rate of child prostitution, according to the Nevada News Bureau. Las Vegas police once stated that hundreds of children engaged in prostitution are found on the streets each year. The U.S. Department of Justice also listed Las Vegas as one of the 17 locations with the highest risk of human trafficking.
Magazines often list the most dangerous professions in the U.S., and their top choices are always fishermen, loggers, or oil workers.
In reality, prostitution carries more risk than all those professions. According to recent statistics, the mortality rate for prostitutes in the US is 204 per 100,000 people. This rate for fishermen is only 129 per 100,000 people.
A prostitute is physically assaulted, though not fatally, approximately once a month.
Prostitution has partly caused the disappearance of the $2 bill, which many people in various countries.
In the early 1900s, when the government was still promoting the use of the strong $2 bill,
the average overnight price for a prostitute at that time coincidentally was $2. Finally, the $2 bill has a bad reputation, being associated. Men carrying $2 bills are considered clients of prostitution, whether they have slept with prostitutes or not. Therefore, the $2 bill is increasingly less used, though it remains in circulation. Each year in the US, about 70,000 to 80,000 people are arrested for involvement in prostitution.
Of these, 70% are prostitutes and pimps, 30% are male prostitutes and madams, and 10% are clients.
Canada is the second largest country in the world, and the US is the fourth largest, sharing the longest border in the world.
This border has two parts from north to south: the border of Alaska with Canada's Yukon.
From east to west, it passes through 12 US states and 7 Canadian provinces. There are many locations, such as houses and airports, situated between the US and Canada. For example, a possible illustration is the town of Jabolite located on the border between the US and Canada.
In some cases, a family cooks in one country but can eat in the neighboring country. Jabolite is home to the Haska Free Library and the Opera House.
Interestingly, the Opera House stage is in Canada, but the entrance and most seats are in the US.
Thus, the Opera House has two addresses, one in the US and one in Canada.
Because the US has a vast area and diverse terrain, it experiences all types of climates.
Temperate climates occur in most regions, tropical climates in Hawaii and southern Florida. Polar climate in Alaska, semi-arid in the Great Plains west of the 100th meridian.
Desert climate in the southwest, Mediterranean climate along the California coast, and arid in the Great Basin. For many people, English is a mandatory language in today's era due to its prevalence in economics, society, and culture. According to statistics, about 360 million people worldwide have English as their native language,
while about 500 million use it as a foreign language.
However, ironically, the world's #1 economic power, the US, does not designate English as its official language, even though it is the most common language in the country. In reality, the US has about 350 different languages in use, and there is no official federal-level document recognizing English as the official language, even though 82% of the population uses English as their native language,
and 96% of the population here speaks it fluently.
The recognition of English as an official language is only regulated by individual states, depending on the situation. Spanish is the second most common language in the United States, spoken by about 30 million people or 12% of the population in 2005.
In Puerto Rico, both Spanish and English are official languages. And in New Mexico, both languages are widely used.
The United States has the fifth largest Spanish-speaking population in the world, after Mexico, Spain, Argentina, and Colombia.
Puerto Rico has a majority Spanish-speaking population.
Although new immigrants from Latin America are less proficient in English, the second generation is almost fluent in English,
while about half still speak Spanish.
People of German descent form the largest distinct ethnic group in the United States.
And German ranks high. Italian, Dutch, and Greek are still widely used among populations with immigrant origins from those countries in the early 20th century. But the use of these languages has declined as older generations pass away. Starting in the 1970s and continuing until the mid-1990s.
Many people from the Soviet Union and later its successor states, such as Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, and Uzbekistan, immigrated to the United States,
making Russian one of the minority languages in the US. Tagalog and Vietnamese have over 1 million speakers in the US, almost entirely among recent immigrants.
There is also a small population of Native Americans who still speak their indigenous languages.
But these populations are dwindling, and these languages have almost never been widely used outside Native American reservations. Hawaiian, although spoken by few native speakers, is still used at the state level in Hawaii alongside English. All languages other than English are typically passed down from immigrant ancestors or taught through educational forms. There are about 337 spoken or sign languages in the United States, of which about 176 are indigenous in origin.
52 spoken languages in the territory of the United States today have become The first nuclear weapons were manufactured by the United States with the help of the United Kingdom and Canada during World War II. Both the United States and the Soviet Union developed thermonuclear weapons in the mid-1950s.
In August 1945, the first 2 atomic bombs were dropped on Japan, but they were not identical and were not the first atomic bombs in the world.
During World War II, scientists discovered the potential of using nuclear fission reactions to create new weapons.
There was concern that Germany might be seeking to build a bomb using this technology.
The U.S. government appointed scientist Oppenheimer as the director of the Los Alamos National Laboratory in New Mexico. He was also tasked with building the atomic bomb. This was a top-secret project codenamed the Manhattan Project. The Manhattan Project lasted about 3 years before achieving.
At its peak, the project employed over 130,000 people at a total cost of
$2.2 billion, equivalent to about $38 billion today. Scientists designed and built 2 different types of atomic bombs because it was uncertain which method would work.
One used uranium and the other used plutonium.
Little Boy was the uranium-based bomb, while Fat Man used plutonium.
Both bombs were dropped on Hiroshima, Japan.
Because scientists in the Manhattan Project were uncertain about the effectiveness of the detonation method, they decided to conduct a test before using it in war. Thus, on July 16, 1945, in the New Mexico desert, USA,
a test named Trinity detonated a plutonium bomb, ushering in the atomic age. This was the first nuclear bomb ever detonated in the world.
With about 270 million guns owned by civilians, the U.S. has become the country with the highest per capita gun.
Second is Yemen, a country of tribes and internal conflicts. From the capital Washington to Walmart stores across America, guns are as common as bread, fresh milk, or clothing, a regular consumer item for hunters, collectors, and those wanting to ensure their safety. And, of course, thousands of criminals and murderers.
According to statistics from a Washington-based gun control advocacy group,
guns cause over 100,000 deaths or injuries each year. In 2010, the U.S. recorded over 30,000 gun-related deaths. Many times, gun control laws seem to be left open and forgotten,
until the Supreme Court ruled to tighten the Constitution to reduce the power of state and local governments in restricting gun ownership in 2008 and 2010.
Currently, about half of the 50 U.S. states have passed laws allowing gun users
to carry weapons openly in most public places. Even many states agree to let their citizens fire guns when pushed into life-threatening situations.
But in reality, shootings still occur even when victims could have been safely rescued.
Gun culture has become ingrained in the American subconscious, despite many recent shootings. The buying, managing, and using of guns in American society, despite legal, but gun ownership remains a fundamental right of American citizens as stipulated in the Constitution. 26 National Flag Amendments. Since its official recognition in 1777, the U.S. flag has undergone a total of 26 changes. Previously, the first American flag consisted of 13 stripes, symbolizing the 13. In the upper left corner, it included the maritime flag, similar to the national. In 1777, when a flag resolution was issued, the three colors red, white, and blue became official. Red symbolizes courage and passion.
White symbolizes purity.
Blue embodies loyalty, justice, and determination. The 13 stripes represent the 13. while the 13 white stars on a blue background symbolize the new federal government.
By 1795,
The flag added 2 stripes and 2 stars to reflect the admission of 2 new states, Vermont and Kentucky.
in 1818, the U.S. Congress decided to keep the 13 stripes to honor the original colonies, and add a star each time a new state joined.
The most recent change was when Hawaii became the 50th state. The current flag with 13 stripes and 50 stars has existed for 54 years and is the longest-lasting version to date.
The 50-star American flag was designed by Robert G. Heft in 1958, when he was just 17 years old and a student in Ohio.
This was part of a history class project at Lancaster High School. His teacher, Mr. Stanley Pratt, hated it E-grade. However, after a discussion, Mr. Pratt agreed to change Heft's grade if this design was chosen by the U.S. Congress as the new national flag. At that time, Alaska and Hawaii were being considered for statehood. As a result, President Dwight D. Eisenhower selected Heft's design from over 1,500 submissions nationwide. Mr. Pratt kept his promise and raised Heft's grade to an A. The United States has one of the oldest rivers in the world. The Colorado River flows through the U.S. states of Colorado, Utah, Arizona, Nevada, and California. Flowing through California and Sonora, Mexico, the river is 2,334 kilometers long and has an age of up to 70 million.
The Colorado River is one of the most famous and important rivers in the southwestern United States. The Colorado River formed the Grand Canyon.
The ages of the Colorado River and the Grand Canyon are closely linked. There has been a long-standing debate in the scientific community about the actual age of the Colorado River and the Grand Canyon.
Scientists believe the current Colorado River formed about 6 million years ago, but its ancestors appeared around 70 million years ago.
Lake Superior, part of the Great Lakes in North America, is the world's largest freshwater lake by surface area, 82,000.
The lake is also the source of one of the world's most important rivers.
Lake Superior borders Ontario, Canada to the north, Minnesota, USA to the west, and the U.S. states of Wisconsin and Michigan. According to World Atlas, Lake Superior is about 563 kilometers long, 257 kilometers wide.
The Colorado River is considered one of the world's most important rivers. Lake Superior is one of the world's most important freshwater lakes.
Fed by the Mary and St. Louis rivers, water from Lake Superior flows into Lake Huron. Like the other Great Lakes, Lake Superior was formed by glacial movements in the past. According to Lake Superior magazine, it would take 191 years for Lake Superior to complete. The lake is home to many fish species, such as salmon, stickleback, whitefish, and perch. It is also a popular camping and recreation spot for people in both the US and Canada.
The world's most famous film industry. Hollywood is an area in central Los Angeles, California.
It is located northwest of Los Angeles, bounded by Hyperion Avenue and Riverside Drive to the east. Beverly Boulevard to the south, the foothills of the Santa Monica Mountains to the north, and the Hollywood Hills to the west. The name has become iconic, used to refer to the American film industry for many years.
Famous film studios such as Disney,
Paramount Pictures, Warner Brothers, and Universal Pictures were all founded in Hollywood. Hollywood is the oldest film center where the earliest film studios and production companies emerged.
It is the birthplace of various film genres, including comedy, drama, action, musical, romance, horror, science fiction, and war epics. Hollywood can be seen as a model for film industries in many other countries.
Hollywood has become so prevalent that it is considered a proper noun and a metaphor for the American film industry. Major award ceremonies and film premieres are often held in Hollywood,
at important theaters and concert venues. Tipping is mandatory.
A tip or gratuity is an extra amount of money that customers give to service staff in restaurants. Typically, it is not included in the bill. In the US, tipping service staff has become a common cultural practice. However, many experts and consumers believe that tipping culture in the US has recently gotten out of control. Even when buying just a baked good or a small coffee to go, customers in the US now have to pay a tip.
Even many businesses using electronic payment systems automatically add a tip for service staff.
The implementation of such tipping practices has generated mixed reactions from consumers.
Studies show that many customers feel annoyed by automatic tip requests at coffee shops and counter service stores. In places where service is usually limited, customers rarely leave tips.
According to etiquette expert Thomas Farley, customers are put in a situation where they feel forced to tip, even if they initially had no intention to do so. Service staff can tell at a glance which tables have tipped and how much. Not to mention that customers queuing behind you can also see the amount you pay.
According to data from Square, one of the leading companies in digital payments, restaurant tips increased by 25.3% in Q3 2020.
Meanwhile, tips at fast food restaurants or service counters rose by 16.7% compared to the same period in 2021. 14. 4 presidents who were assassinated. Historically, there have been over 20 assassination plots targeting U.S. presidents, both while in office and after their term. Among these, 4 U.S. presidents were assassinated and died while in office: Abraham Lincoln, James A. Garfield, William McKinley, and John F. Kennedy.
The assassination of President Abraham Lincoln occurred around 10:15 p.m. on April 14, 1865, while he was watching a play at Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. The 20th U.S. President, James A. Garfield, was assassinated at 9:30 a.m. on July 2, 1881, in Washington, just over 4 months after taking office. The assassination of the 25th U.S. President, William McKinley, took place at 4:07 p.m. on September 6, 1901, in Buffalo, New York. At the time, he was attending an exhibition and was shot twice in the abdomen of the Pan American Music Temple with a .32 caliber revolver. The perpetrator was identified as Leon Czolgosz. The 35th U.S. President, John F. Kennedy, was assassinated at 12:30 p.m. on November 22, 1963, He was shot while moving in a motorcade through Dealey Plaza, alongside First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy. Texas Governor John Connally and his wife.
Kennedy was critically wounded by a gunshot. After the shots were fired, Secret Service agent Clinton J. Hill immediately left his vehicle, ran to the rear, and jumped onto the president's car. Kennedy's death was officially declared half an hour later in the emergency room of Parkland Hospital.
15.
The Internet is an American invention. The Internet as we know it today began development in the late 1960s in California, USA. In July 1969, the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA, issued a press release introducing the. This was the first time the concept of the Internet was popularized in mainstream culture. In August 1991, Tim Berners-Lee introduced the World Wide Web, WWW, to the public, and people could start using it from August 23, 1991. Most of us consider the World Wide Web, WWW, as the Internet, or a network of web pages connected by links. The Internet standards and technologies used today were developed by hundreds of people. But without the World Wide Web, the Internet would not be as widely accessible as it is today. Certainly, a world-leading superpower like the United States always has many surprising facts that astonish the world. However, not all truths about America are as good and wonderful as many people imagine. Despite possessing the world's strongest economy and military, America still has its dark sides that cause confusion and, of course, no country is perfect. Hopefully, the above information has helped you gain more insight into this multi-ethnic nation. And today's video can. Thank you all for your support.
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't.
Goodbye and see you.
If the legend hooked you, subscribe and open the next case.